Hello everybody, this is Coburn C. Capshaw again, here with another Let's Talk video. I've taken a lot of takes on this video because it upsets me, because what they're saying is that people who give advice were really actually convoluted people who are evil and we want to do bad things. Well, that's what it makes me feel like. So, here on this Let's Talk video, right, we're going to be talking about what PsychologyToday.com has to say and what I have to say versus what my therapist, Connie Jones, has to say. And I'm sorry, but once I have Connie's backing, I trust her word more than what they say, because she's been at this for a while. Excuse me, I'm a little gassy today. So, here's what they have to say. Here's a couple bullet points. There's a lot here. I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to read like the little bits and pieces and then give my personal reflection. All right. So in a nutshell, advice giving usually doesn't work and often backfires. Okay, and I won't say why. Well, here's what they have to say. For example, it often makes me laugh when someone knocks on my door to engage in religious talking, and then they want to talk about how I am an engaged Catholic, my wife's an engaged Jew, their respective families have been active participants in their own respective religious traditions for centuries, right? And they're happy and comfortable with how they are and the life that they live. But yet, some random stranger knocking on the door thinks that they can change their beliefs all of a sudden with a brief conversation. And then they have the audacity to say, really? Okay, well, my response is I do not agree that giving advice at all backfires. This is not fair because this person who posted this article is comparing people like me to Jehovah's Witness. And then their suggestion that instead of giving advice is that you should go work towards modeling, right? So especially if you really want to encourage behavior, right? Well, my kind of argument, no, this is wrong. You cannot simply model someone unless you give them advice on growing up, knowing right from wrong, and how to be a good person, etc. Now, I understand that everyone was raised different, even if you have harsher parents, harder parents, whatever, different households. But both you and I know for a fact that they raised you right and knowing right from wrong and how to be a good person, how to treat other people, right? And my other kind of argument is, how can you set an example to others without giving them advice? So you're saying, oh, you want to encourage behavior and you want that, but you can't unless you give them advice. Please help me here, right? And then so here's where they're starting to throw jabs at us, right? So they say, to be fair, we all find ways to tell others how to live. We can't help it. We all have strong points of view and believe that others should or do think as we do. And most of us are all too comfortable expressing those views to others, whether they're interested or not. Yet, again, here they go again, research using repentance theory, think of that word, informs us that whenever someone tells us what to do and how to do it, we respond in a defensive defiance because we want to maximize our personal freedom and decision making. What? So we know that telling others what they should do, even if it is reasonable advice, rarely, if ever, works, which for me, advice has always worked. Though you never know this by the endless roster of self-help books and self-advice gurus out there. That was a freaking mouthful. But here's my counter argument, which I think is a pretty good one. So I've never once looked at a person giving me advice with disdain because I knew deep down they were really truly trying to help me as a person, right? Also, saying the whole guru thing again is just throwing another jab, which doesn't really do much. Now again, you said repentance theory. Now the word theory is a theory, which actually shows that it's not even a proven fact. So on your website, you just kind of laid it out on there for us, like, hey, guess what? We said the word theory, but yet we're trying to prove something here that doesn't have any like factual backup. Do you guys feel smart? No matter how you were raised, your parents would give you advice and wisdom to learn how to deal with life once they have modeled and outlined for how they want to raise you. Yeah, it kind of makes sense, right? And then they want to say, research on observational learning in conjunction with an understanding of repentance theory suggests that while people will resist unsolicited advice and instruction, they will follow the behaviors of others, especially when they appear to be good in reinforcing outcomes from their behaviors or beliefs. Wow. So here's a good example. One of the delightful families I met in my son's high school are even evangelical Christians, but had no clue what their religious affiliation was for about 3 years. After one conversation I had at their last track meets, I didn't have any idea. I didn't even have any idea of their beliefs or traditions. They modeled wonderful and appealing behaviors without a word and set an example for others. Very different than folks knocking on the door telling you what you should believe. My response, again, they are comparing the stigma of people like me to Jehovah's Witness. Plus, that just sounds downright mean. Like, oh, hey, we'd rather be around you when you can be quiet, not say anything, not push your blah blah, because you want to be stuck in your own little ways because we want to be right. Do you really think that sounds like somebody that you would want to model yourself after? Again, the word modeling. I don't think so. Also, this is from the second website that article that I looked at. This one's a little bit shorter. I'm also going to be saying my bullet points here, my responses, and then what Kanye has to say. So, some people show greater interest in solving their problems than they do their own. In such cases, what might these self-appointed habitual advice givers be revealing about themselves? Actually, much more than you realized. What the chronic advice giver suggestions, often gratuitous, and unsolicited, again, the word unsolicited, typically betray is a powerful need to prove themselves that they could deal with your difficulties better than you could ever be expected to. Okay, my response, okay, so if you come to me, and I know I said this like earlier, but if you come to me for advice, then how is my advice unsolicited when you came to me for it in the first place? I'm repeating myself a lot here, people. Do you realize what both these articles are saying? They're repeating themselves, and they're saying the same thing over and over again, and yet my response is always the same thing, like, you're not really changing much, Also, if I ask you what's wrong, and you tell me, I don't understand I don't understand. So, that's what that is. And then the last thing I'm going to say here is that, you people are choosing to watch these videos. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not forcing you to do it. I'm not saying, oh, hey, I have a new advice video. You need to watch this. I'm commanding you to do this. Am I commanding you to do this? No. Not at all. You're choosing to, and I love you for that. Thank you so much for watching my videos. And sorry if I'm going off on a rant here, but I just don't understand how this makes any sense. And some people I've talked to, they agree with this article, and they agree with what these people have to say. And they do make some really good points, do not get me wrong. But the points that they make, to me, doesn't make any sense, because I know me, and I know who I am at heart, and I know people who give advice, and who they really are, and what they're all about. So, to me, I don't agree with this at all. I'm sorry. And also, if you really think about it, there